Hello, everyone. Good day. How are you doing? I hope that you're having a good weekend. So, this week we are talking about competition. Welcome to in another episode of the Startup Corner knowledge sharing session. Today we are talking about competitors. Who are your competitors? In business, competition is not just about rivalry, it's about awareness, strategy, and growth. Do you know who your competitors are? Understanding your competitors helps you identify gaps in the market, improve your products or services, learn from their successes and mistakes, stay ahead with innovation. For many of us, or well, some of us, we've been told, oh, yeah, your only competition, you're just competing again, you're competing with your past successes. I think that is the truth, but it's not the whole truth. You are not in a silo, you are in an ecosystem. So, and you need to understand that once people see that something is working, they are definitely going to want to come on board. So it is good market or business intelligence to see who else is offering services that are either exactly the same or similar to what you're doing. And then one other thing you need to look at, I don't know if we've read Blue Ocean Strategy, is that sometimes you also need to look across industries to see who else is competing for the attention of your audience in the same way that you are. So, for example, you own a cinema, right? And so that's your business. So as far as you are concerned, the competitors you're looking for are people that are also in the cinema space. But you need to backtrack and ask yourself, who are the people that come to cinemas? People that came for leisure and entertainment, right? So if you are going to take this competitor analysis really far, you also have to look at the other people who may not be cinema owners, who are competing for the same attention of your audience for leisure. So you're looking at the people that are the football industry. They are competing for the same audience. The people that what they call it, that go to watch what they call the movie streamers, Netflix, etc. You have to look at those as your competitors as well, because they are competing for the attention of the people of your target audience. You're looking at those that provide what they call vacation services, people that maybe give experiences, like those that will take you for skydiving, bungee jumping. Those are things people do for leisure. So if you want to identify your competitors, anyway, you have to first of all look at the people who are offering the same products and services as you are. Then you also need to look at the businesses that are meeting the same need in a different way. You also need to look at the bigger brands you aim to compete with in the future. So you're not just looking at, oh, I'm selling akara. The woman that is beside me selling akara is my competitor. Yes, she's your direct competitor, but that's not the whole picture. You also need to look at who else is meeting the needs of the low income earners, food needs of the low income earners. The person that is selling groundnuts is your indirect competitor, and you need to make sure that you are learning from their successes and their mistakes. You are innovating. How do you infuse akara with groundnut in such a way that someone that buys your akara and groundnut? Okay. So you also want to look at the bigger brands that, so you are selling akara, I was saying you can infuse it with groundnut. So that's innovation. And then you begin to look, for example, at the Instagram chefs. Then maybe there's one or two that you want to go into the food content creation space. So you're not just an akara fryer, you're an akara fryer that is creating content, and maybe you begin to look at other people who are creating content online. You find the niche you want to play in, and so you are infusing the lady selling akara at the T junction at Martin Street, Victoria Island. So people already know where you are, and you're taking advantage of the internet. So you're streaming as your process, as you're infusing, and you're answering people on TikTok And so your business is growing because you have looked at, okay, people want to see food content, but they also want to see food, street food, for example, and then you decide to play this in the street food niche, stuff like that, right? So you are looking at where you are, and you are also aspiring to become that international street food vendor, for example. So these are recommendations, things you can do for your competitor analysis. So research your competitors' pricing, their marketing, their customer reviews, particularly their customer reviews. It's a minefield there, or you can, oh, sorry, not a minefield. You can mine data in the customer reviews section, and it's public, everybody can see it. Secondly, look at their social media and the way they're engaging their customers. Some people, I have a story to tell, but because of time, I'll just say someone, I was listening to her speak on a panel, and she was talking about customer care etc. And I did not have a good experience with the brand. And she was touching on the things that I was talking about, or the things I was not happy about with the brand. So don't just mouth it. Actually take time to see what are people saying. So many times business owners delete terrible feedback on their pages, but they can't delete everywhere. So some people go on Google business or something to leave their reviews. You can't delete there. So what you do is that you just do a global search for those businesses and see what people are really saying, not just on their social media platforms. But not be me go tell you everything that you need to know about competitor analysis, right? So the next thing I would say is that after you've done all of that gathered market intelligence, you've seen what people are complaining about, you've seen what people are hyping, then you now go and look at your own offerings and see how you can tweak your offerings to be able to address customers' needs without compromising on your vision and your values. As much as possible, don't just copy and paste. Copy, paste, edit, innovate, refine. And please share this with a business owner that needs to hear this, that needs to learn more about innovation, how to innovate. So I'm going to leave you with a quote from Jack Ma, the executive chairman of Alibaba Group. He says, you should learn from your competitor, but never copy. Copy and you